Good morning, good morning. I was going to go ahead and do my strawberries this morning because I knew that if I didn't get them done, there were a few of them that was already starting to go really bad. And I thought, I've got to do that today. Today's Friday. I'm glad y'all could join me. I'm not doing a live right now. I've got to do these strawberries, and I can't mess with that. And my camera's always pretty good. Looks pretty good. Maybe y'all can see what I'm doing at least. But I'll go over to the sink to do this, and I'll cut y'all off. But what I do is I get my little strawberry plucker, I call it, and I just pluck my little. Don't take but a second with this plucker. If y'all don't have a plucker, get you a plucker, because that has saved me over the years. These little things have saved me, have saved my fingers from being cut off, but it saved me from time, a lot of time. See, I just plucks that strawberry right out of that, and it's got little brads, kind of little brads on it. That's what's good. So when I get these strawberries done, I'll come back and then we'll decide what we're doing. Alright, now then, I had to pick through those to make sure and get the leaves and stuff. And I've done pretty well, I think. Some of these were just, well, a lot of them were just about half gone, and I didn't realize it. So check your strawberries if you bought very many like I did, trying to I'm just going to cut them up. Cut those strawberries. Might as well just cut them up, and then we'll decide. Won't take long to get these. Getting that stem off of there is the main chore. But with that little old thing, I'll put it on there. I put it on the site before, and it's not very expensive. Get it from that Amazon. I might make 2 cents off of it, but the reason I put them on there is so y'all find the things, because for so long I was telling y'all, well, it's on Amazon, and then you'd say, well, I'm not very computer savvy. I don't know how to find it, and so I thought, well, I would set up that little, well, you have to set up a little account thing if you want to sponsor. So I did, and for 3 months I made $1.89. So I done well with it. That ain't. I wish they'd have something where you know, these companies would, when I talk about them and everything, because I just talk about them because I like their products, not because I need them to do anything, but I do wish that they had something like the Lowe's, or where I could get my kitchen fixed up from them. I'd sure tell about them then. That being without me a dishwasher is about ruined me. I don't know what grandma and them, I guess they didn't know any better. They just they didn't have all those. As far as I remember, or as much as I can remember, we had. Now, we may not have had a dishwasher when I was real young, but most of the time, with my dad being a builder, there's my bad place there. Cat come in. That's my black and white one, or Mama's black and white one. Because it's starting to get hot everywhere. If it isn't cold, it's hot. If it's hot, it's cold. That's making a lot of strawberries, y'all. Now I could, like I told you, what I'd planned to do was put those in the freezer so I'd have them. But, and I'm going to have to do something. I don't know exactly what at this point in my career, but we're going to figure out. We could make some strawberry jam. We could do, we could make our strawberry cake. I think that's what we're going to do too. I made that recipe up the other day. I've never baked it, never tried it. I have no idea. I just did it. See, now that's some of them. Some strawberries you get with that old white spot on white because they don't look like they've been real ripe, and they picked them before this ripe. Boy, that'd make a big sundae with whipped cream and make some little shortcakes to put them on. That's what we had when I was a kid. Loved them. We loved them. I think I buy cake mixes so I'll have them in case I need to make something for somebody when somebody passes away or the church and I don't have time. I buy those cake mixes like Duck and Hines and things for I think those at the country grocery store one day was $1 a box, you know, good cake mixes. So I bought several. So I'd have them on hand. I bet I've got a strawberry one. Put some of these and some pineapple in it. Make a good cake. Make a bundt cake. Let me get these cut up and then we'll decide what we're going to do. I didn't make lunch today. There's a green, beef. You have to watch them leave. They won't hurt you. Some of those I don't like the way they look, so I'm not putting them in there. You know, that's one thing. After I go through them several times, if I'd have got right on these, but I just didn't feel like it. There wouldn't have been one of them gone bad. But I didn't get it done. I'll save a couple back to decorate the cake with. See, some of those are not ripe on top, but they're kind of ripe on bottom. So I said, oh, I was so worried about you cutting yourself the way you're... Honey, I've been peeling vegetables and stuff all my life. So don't worry about me cutting my arms off, because if I do, it just happens. Get my hands washed. Let me get my hands washed. Get Billie Jean's mess cleaned up a little bit. That's some pretty strawberries. That's a big bowl. Told y'all I got a lot of them. I'm going to go ahead and put some lemon juice on those. So that they won't get any darker. I'm just going to squirt lemon juice. And then that'll... I've got too many. That will... I just kind of toss that in there. That'll keep those strawberries from getting darker. Just that little bit of lemon juice. Plus, it kind of keeps those flies away. We've had so many flies. They don't like that lemon juice too much, and it'll kind of keep them off that and garlic. So, let me see if I've got that recipe. Oh, it's a bundt cake, and I've got it. I'm not going to do an Ermine icing, even though I did it on to print out for the cookbook. I thought I'd put this in the cookbook if it turns out. I just decided I was going to come up with this, and so I got it book ready. Cake flour, granulated sugar, baking powder, salt, unsalted butter, eggs, vanilla, and I've got cream de cocoa. Pretty sure I got cream de cocoa. Let me look up here. I added that because I thought that cream de cocoa, you get it in the liquor section when you're going to drink section. I thought that'll make it moist, but it'll give you that coconut flavor. And then a cup of finely diced pineapple and finely diced strawberries. So, I'll tell you what, I guess we'll just go ahead and make this. I've been wanting it, so I might as well just go ahead and make it. Let me get the mixer. Let me get my mixer moved over so that we can get this going. And it won't take long. It won't take long at all. I rinsed that out already. And I'm going to put that on there. And I'm going to put my head mixing paddle on there. Make sure that works. Make sure the mixer comes on. Okay. We've got that. So we're going to try a new. I have not used this before. I ordered several. I got tired of chasing down the best flour. So I ordered this Amazon enriched self-rising flour, pre-sifted bleached. We're going to try it on one day. And then of course, King Arthur, never bleached. This yields a good cake, it says. It's unbleached cake flour. So we're going to try the unbleached cake flour, and we'll see how this King Arthur flour works. And I think we'll just have to wait and see. I can't say for sure. Let me get my recipe up here so I can see what I'm doing. Let me get me two. Let me get me 2 cups. Get out of the way, strawberries. Don't get in my way right now. We're going to I'm going to put this in a different King Arthur. I'm going to put this in a different container. I've got some canisters once I get my flour out of here. So, it's probably going to be easier. If I get one of these little I'm usually pretty much on measuring stuff. I want it perfect. So I kind of just, not pack it down, but I want to make sure that I'm getting 2 cups. Because if you vary just a little bit, it can make a big difference in your finished product. Okay, now that is 2 cups. Now I've got my weight if I wanted to weigh it, but we're not weighing it today. If I'm making a wedding cake or something that's very crucial, then I've got to I went to Sam's and I bought these Ziploc 152 freezer gallon bags. Now, I don't know if I'll ever use all of them, but they were such a good deal. I thought, well, somebody might need some, and I'll share with them if I. So, I guess if y'all need a freezer bag, I can mail you one. Won't cost much. But these say they stand up or something. I've not used them. They look nice, and boy, they're heavy. Not the box, I'm talking about this bag. Now that's one of the best bags I've seen in a long time. Now it says, what does it say? It'll stand up. Well, now stand up. Oh, I guess it, well, I guess it does. Kinda. It's not as good as you think. I thought it was going to stand up and jump around, but this latch thing on here is really good. Fold and feel. Well, we'll do that next time. We don't have time to play with our bags today. We'll do that later. Okay. Got this cleaned up pretty good. Now let me get this. So now we've got to get a cup and a half. Let's just use our white sugar. We'll get a cup and a half of our white. Sometimes that sugar, gets little lumps in it. So let's go ahead and put there's our cup. I'm not going to worry about them little balls in there, because they will. Humidity just does that, especially with all the rain everybody's had. Now this says 2 teaspoons, and I'm going to let me get Grandma's old deal. Now this is that Geffen aluminum-free baking powder. So I'm going to put 2 generous baking powders in there. Now, we'll have to have some salt, half teaspoon. Half a teaspoon. Half a teaspoon of salt. Okay. Now you master bakers, y'all probably cringe when I'm making stuff that's just the way I am. I've always been that way. Butter. We gotta have butter. Now out. I'm out of my stick butter. I didn't know that. I'll just open one of these new challenge butters. Let me get my apron on, y'all. I've got this old holy t-shirt on. And I never forget my apron. I'm gonna wear a green one today. But today I was so busy with worrying about them strawberries and stuff that I forgot. But I always put my apron on. Thank y'all for the sweet comments on the piece of artwork I did. I really enjoyed doing that. And I'm going to do more. I've had several people ask me about having their animal painted, and I said, well, I don't usually do that, but it may get to the time where I will to make some extra. Alright, now let me get back to what I'm doing or I'll plumb forget. We'll just, one stick is a half cup, so let me see. So I'm going to go ahead and put my butter, my half cup, into my, put my half cup into my mixer there. I'll let it set. Just let it set. Just let that go ahead and turn, and I'll go get my eggs. Let me get 2 eggs. I'll get me 2 eggs. Stop that. And I'm going to put 1 egg at a time and turn that back on there. Then I'll wipe those sides down. And there's our 2 eggs. Usually I would probably, let me go ahead and mix that. Since that butter was cold, I should have warmed it up. Not warmed it, but let it get to room temperature. I usually do. I put everything at room temperature. It seems to make the cake so much better. The better. Now we'll get us some vanilla. We'll get us some of our Mexican vanilla. And let's get a teaspoon of that. Okay. Boy, that smells so good. I'm going to have to get some, like I've told y'all before long. Now I want a half cup of this cream de cocoa. So let's let's shoot us in about a half a cup of that cream de cocoa in there. And we'll just go ahead. I'll need a half cup of milk. So we'll just go ahead and add our cream de cocoa in there. And that butter will get softer here in just a little bit. Okay, I'm going to put my half cup of milk in there. Let that start going around. Now I've got my pineapple that I had already peeled. A fresh pineapple, and I had cut it in slabs. So I think the recipe, even though I wrote the recipe, I don't remember what it said. So I think I should have probably put the butter, the way I wrote it, was that get the butter and then add the milk and the butter and eggs, then add the milk and the cream de cocoa. I'll put it in the recipe though, on the comment. Then you add with your dry ingredients. So, I don't think it makes much difference, but okay. Now, I'm going to turn this off because that thing, one day I was putting my flour in there and that thing jumped up out of there some way and I broke my arm. So I don't do it all at once. Okay, we're just going to add our dry to our wet. Once you see how that's doing, you don't have to turn it off all the time. I let it just mix enough, you know. I just let it mix. Because you have to realize now when this pineapple and these strawberries bake in that cake, it's going to make it. There we go. That make it a little wetter. Let me get my this kind of wiped up here. Okay, I got my Bundt Pan, and now I'm going to get some of this Baker's Joy, and then I don't have to grease the pan and flour it. I just use this Baker's Joy on my Bundt because it's so much easier. Let that dry. Now, we'll set that right over here. Okay, let's turn that off because I don't want to overmix nothing, because when I do, it gets tough. You know, get that off. Okay. Now, let me give a little. Y'all, it's a good batter. If it'll bake up, then we'll be okay. We've got a good recipe. Not a go. We won't use it no more. That's the only way I can make recipes. Is all these years is I write them up and then we try them. So I try them. And that's about all there is to it. I guess the most crucial part is trying to figure out your ingredients to wet and dry and where it'll come out. Get out of here, you darn old flies on my... You get away from me. Shoo. I don't like you nasty. I call them something bad, but I'm not going to say it. Okay. Now I'm just going to mix that a little more to make sure I got all that flour down there at the bottom. That old fly thought he was going to get him a little free ride today, didn't he? Well, he is. He's going to get a free ride down to the cemetery when I can get a hold of him. I don't like those damn flies. They make me so mad. That and these pantry moths. So if y'all ever see my videos and you see a little moth flying around, I'm sorry. Or a fly, I'm sorry. I do the best that I can. You know. Okay, I'm going to make a cup of these. I'm going to finally dice those. So, but I don't know, I don't think, well, I really don't want to get a chopper and all that out. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to get, I'm going to put about, let's see here, a cup. We can do a cup. I just got, let me wash my hands again. I just washed them. I'll tell you what, that's all I do is wash my hands. That's just the way it goes. Okay. Let me get one of my, let me get my, so I call me one of my, the chop knives. And I'm just going to chop those. I wanted a visual of how many, about a half a cup, and that's more than a half cup, but I bet it'll be good, don't y'all? So we're going to chop. It's already 2:30, y'all. To me, and I don't know when I'll get this. I hope it uploads. Oh, I hope it uploads, y'all. After the Sunday's video, it took me 3 days to figure. Well, I still don't know what was wrong, but now that might. I'm just going to go ahead and put it in my batter instead of messing up another bowl. Let's just put that in our batter. Let me see. Kind of chop as you go. And then you can just add to it. But what I was saying about these strawberries and pineapple, you have to, when I was figuring out that recipe, I thought, you know, I don't know if that recipe will turn out with it being so much wet ingredients, because once these cook or start baking, they're going to get juicier. So we're just going to have to wait and see, won't we? That's why a lot of times when fruitcakes, people used to make their own recipes with fruitcakes, they'd come out too dry, throw them up against the wall that it's so hard, and they just turned a little dark, just a little bit. But that's okay. That'll be okay, because it's not ruined, it's just dark. So don't freak out. I'll cut some of that off and then like that, and then we'll chop them. Now you could add your chopped pineapple from your can if you want to. It's whatever you want to do. But I just bought those fresh pineapples because I wanted the tops to plant. Plus I wanted some fresh strawberry. Fresh strawberry and pineapple. So that's what I did. If this cake comes out any good, it'll be good. I'll just tell you that right now. I'll tell by And I'm probably overdoing a half cup on this fruit, but I wanted more fruit in it today because I had extra, and I thought, I need to use that fruit. Need to use that fruit up so it don't run. I'm getting this all over, but aren't I always? I don't usually use that word ain't, but sometimes it slips out. So does, other things. That's just life. Okay, that's about maybe a cup of pineapple. But that's okay too. Get my board off. I get winded, y'all, but I'm doing so much better. I'm doing so much better. Okay. Now then. Got that done. Let's just see how this does. We're going to just fold that into that. Coat your fruit. See all those juices kind of making that batter. A little bit pink. And that's fine. We don't mind, do we? Okay. Here's our pan. I'm wondering, yeah, that'll be I don't probably need the big, deep one. We're going to use this one. Just go ahead. I've got the bigger ones. But we're going to use get all that out of there. Get all that goodness out of there, Betty Jean. Okay. Clean up my work. Clean up my work a little bit. Get that off of there. And y'all see how that's got those chunks of fruit in it. And then we're going to put that in our 350 degree oven. I would say, let me see if I put on here, I should have. I think probably 45 to 55 minutes in a regular oven on 350. So I'm going to use my little oven, and I've got so many utensils, y'all. Y'all wonder why I don't have any room. Well, because I've got too many utensils and too small a kitchen. But I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. I used to have a kitchen that was big enough that I couldn't find anything in it because I didn't know where everything was. It had so many drawers. So we're going to put this in there at 350 to 35 to 45 minutes. If I do it on convection, I'll probably only do it at 300 for about 20 minutes. So just as soon as we can see what that cake's going to look like, I'll be back. Okay, I got the cake, still a baking. I went ahead and put the pineapple and the strawberries into these bags, and I got 3 huge bags, and I wanted y'all to realize that's what I've done. So when I get the cake done, I'll come back and talk to you. Okay, I got the kitchen pretty well clean. That poor little tomato, I will eat it this weekend. Mine have not started making tomatoes, so I'll have a late tomatoes when everybody else's is. Let me check this cake. I'll take it out and we'll check it. Let's see. Always check it. There you go. Let's check it and see about the toothpick. Always check it with a toothpick. Needs a little more time, probably about 10 or 15 more minutes. You don't want to get it too dry though. It bake too much to make it too dry. So we'll leave that in there about 10 more minutes and then I'll be back. I may go ahead and start getting my icing ready, but it's got to cool completely, so there's no sense. Okay, I decided instead of putting that back in there, because I know it's going to be, I left it in there for about 8 minutes, so. But with those, with that fresh fruit in there, that's why it's not baking up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my tart pan. You can use a foil, and I'm just going to put that right on top there, so it don't get too browned on top, burnt or browned. I'm going to set that back in my oven, and that'll steam will help that cake with that fruit go ahead and come out okay. And we'll be back. Okay, I heard the cake go off about 5 minutes ago, but I couldn't get in here. So let's check it and see if it's, them are hot. Hot, hot, hot. Now, let's check with our toothpick. Now that come out smooth, clean. See, it's perfectly clean. So that means our cake is done. D-O-N-E. Now go ahead and shake that just a little bit when they're hot so they come out. You can hear it. Well, I bet that's going to be a good cake, y'all. Look at it. You can see the strawberries and the pineapple. It'll be a good cake. I got those crumbs all over everything. But that'll be all right. Okay, I'm going to set this here and get one of my old clean but decrepit cup towels, and I'm just going to cover that up so you know what don't come around flying around thinking they own it. And then I'm going to let that cool, and I'll be back once it's cool. Then we'll make our glaze and get it glazed up. Well, hello, back again. I got the cake cooled. It is cooled. Still just barely warm, but it's cooled. That's what we wanted, was just it to be cold, and I went on and did my daily things. So I could get a plate, and let's see if we can get that. I remember I shook it while it was still cooling. Still warm. And we'll see if we can get it out. Might tear all to pieces, but it'll still be good, I bet you. And I thought since that's a strawberry pineapple cake, you know, I better not put it on a regular plate. I better get a here. I've got my cake takers and things like that that I could use, but then it's going to be the same way. So I may just put it on the one of the boards and put it on one of the boards and then decide. Instead of using this nice and plate, there's no sense in it because I'm going to have to transfer it off of there. So we don't want to do that at all. Well, there's a cake. It come out pretty good, didn't it, y'all? Looks nice, firm, beautiful. A little water in that cake pan. There's the cake. Let me move it over here and so I can wrap my brain around. I saved 3 of the strawberries like I told you I was going to do. And then I'm going to get grandmother's old cookbook, the 1930 Better Home and Garden cookbook. And I'm going to make, I decided I wanted not a strawberry icing, not a pineapple icing. I thought I want to, and I could even put blueberries in that cake, and I didn't though, because I wanted this to be just strawberry and pineapple. So I'm going to use on page 8, it's the orange icing. Now that's a good icing to use. Okay, what I did on the recipe is I made the Ermine fresh pineapple icing, and you can do that for your cake, and that's the one I'm going to put online, and I guess I could put this one too. But that uses a half a cup of pineapple juice, and I didn't have pineapple juice unless I got the juicer out and all that stuff, and I didn't feel like doing it, y'all. So we're going to do it this way. We're going to do it this way. One day I'll get one of those holders again. I dropped that, you remember, a month or 2 ago. I had it. It was a beautiful cookbook, nothing wrong with it at all. And I dropped it. That's just the way it goes. Okay, let me get a small pan, one of my Preheat pans, and I'll put that right here. And I'm going to turn let me turn it down low. I've got some oranges, fresh oranges, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, let's see how much orange juice. We need 3 tablespoonfuls, so that's not very much, y'all. So we can do that with our eyes closed. We'll just do 3 tablespoons of fresh, probably 2 of these. Don't have to get the juicer out, see. That's good. Don't have to get that whole juicer, none of them juicers. I got the glass ones and I got the ones that fit on this and do that. And I want it, so let's do 3. Let's say 3 oranges, and that'll be about 3 tablespoons probably. I see one of the little stems in there. I'll get it out. Okay. Let me get the end of my knife and just get that little star. You know that little star. I'll get it without scratching my new pans. That's them little green stars. Okay, let me get my grater. It says to grade the rind of 1 orange. I'd already washed those, so we'll just grade. We'll grade that. We'll use some of it just to. Now when I get this all done, this computer system that I've been telling y'all about, we're going to have our microphones back when you can't hear. It'll show if you can't hear, or over those pans. You know, when I'm cooking it, it's hard to hear, and I'm sorry, but I'm trying to upgrade the systems. I think that's going to be enough. I don't want it so orangey that, you know, we can't stand ourselves. We don't want to get too orangey. Now, let me wipe my hands off. Now I want to add some, about a tablespoon of butter. Let's see this. Let me get a butter. A tablespoon of butter. And I'll add about a tablespoon of butter. Didn't measure it quite, but that's fine. We'll do it fine. And I think we said lemon juice. Let me see. 1 tablespoonful of lemon juice. So we'll put that in there. Of lemon juice. Okay. Let me get one of my silicone spoons. Oh look, it had a baby. Look, there's a piece of orange in there. I didn't even see that. That's what you get for being blind, I guess. Okay. We'll melt that butter into that pan. Let me get that kind of picked up, cleaned up. Make sure all of our lemon runs off of our deal there, and I'll wash that off and put it back up. Okay. All right, let's see about this. Okay, I think I'm going to turn that off just so that, now this is where we add our confection sugar. And it says enough confection sugar to make the right consistency. So the consistency we would want would be kind of like a heavy cream. So, Lord, we may end up with a ton of icing. I don't know. That's sure a lot of liquid for, we'll start out with about a cup of confection. As in England, and they call it castor sugar or baking sugar. I can't remember. Should know. Let's see now. That's going to be a nice glaze. That's still not enough. That's still not enough powdered sugar. Lord, this is going to be the sweetest contraption, creation. Alright, let's try that. I don't want to add more than that. Well, that's getting a little better, but it's still. I'm going to take this. Well, I don't want to whisk in my new pan, so it'll just have to be this way. Let me get some of this Jean's nest off of here. Yeah, that's. We'll just whip that up till it's dissolved. That's about like heavy cream, so maybe 2 cups, I guess. About. Now, if I want to, I'll take one of my one of my strainers, and I'll get a small bowl. Let me see how this is. 'Cause I don't want any lumps. Best way to take care of lumps is mix it as you go or put it through a sieve strainer. So that's what we're going to do. Because I don't want lumps in my product. Get all that out there. That'll let it cool too. See, that'll let that cool. But see those lumps you'd have had on your cake? You don't want that. It'll look terrible. Now you've got your nice glaze, see. That's worry about it. We'll let that cool just a few minutes, because while I'm letting that sit there and cool, I'll take my strawberries and just cut a few. I'm just going to cut around that stem. So that everybody knows. Now if I wanted to be, I could make the marzipan, strawberries, and with the little, but I want small, kind of small little chops on the top. Kind of like confetti, I guess you could say. It'd be similar to looking like a little bit of confetti. I didn't save, or maybe I did. Let me get this taken care of. Y'all know you just fast forward the video if you don't want to watch it all, because I'm not going to stop it. It's easier if I don't stop it. So, now we'll get our cake here. I still would like that on. I'll tell you what I'm not doing. Let me get some tin foil. And, well, that's what I'll do. Get some tin foil. And pull that off. Just some tin foil. And pull that off there. Now this is cool enough to where I can probably, I'm trying to think, lift that up. Yeah, I'll just lift that up, and I'll just take two of my wheels. I'll turn this down. Kind of like if I was gonna, well, we don't have to have our book anymore. Let's get that out of the way so it don't get knocked off again and break some more. We don't really need that. I'm gonna set that kind of like that. Now I'm just gonna take my cake and lift it right there in the middle. And then I'll dust this one off. Dust this off, and then I can put my transfer the cake to there and straighten it. Straighten it up. Now that looks like it's in the middle pretty good. So I'll gift wrap that board or turn it under and put the if I was going to take this, y'all seen it before, if I was going to take this somewhere, I'd get a piece of heavy cardboard and wrap it so I don't leave my good plates there, you know. A lot of times I've lost so many plates over the years. People, they have, just a minute. They have really good intentions, especially at funerals, to return stuff. And I've still got plates with grandmother's name and masking tape on the bottom. I'm not so sure that I've got several that's got masking tape still on them. Okay. Now then, there's that damned old fly. I wish he'd leave me alone. See, now that's gotten really good. It should be a little thicker, I think, but I'm not going to put any more sugar than that, so we're just going to use it as a drizzle. We're just going to drizzle. And that's just easy, y'all, easy as pie. Easy as pie, but we're making a cake. Okay. Now see, that little bit of orange will give that such a different momentous flavor. I mean, that's gonna, this reminds me of the cakes grandmother used to make for our cakewalks. If you never had a cakewalk, you don't know what you've been missing. Now, see, that means it kinda, you've got enough on there. I can see a little more right here, a little more. That old fly, I don't know what I'm going to do to him, but he better get away from me. Now then, I'm going to take just, get out of here. Shoo. I'm just going to put a few strawberries just on top. Just on top. And that'll glue them to your cake. Kind of keep them up there on top, and that'll set. So now there, we got that done, didn't we? So there is, let me pull that, get this kind of white. Pull this over. Like that, right there. Okay, so now we have got a cake that no one else has ever made because it's a brand new recipe that I invented because I needed something to use my pineapple and my strawberries in, and this was just the best way that I could think about doing it. Let me give a I'm not going to use that big horn knife. We don't need that one. We'll use our serrated, and then we can just kind of cut down, because I know y'all like to see when things are cut. Now, let me get a saucer. I'll get one of grandmother's pink saucers. Or I could put it on Fiestaware, or I could put it on this one or that one. We'll just put it on our pink, this pink. Put it on this pink. Now, so if y'all were here, there's the cake. Now there's the side of it, so you can see. that got, see all those strawberries in it and the pineapple, and you can just tell it's just plumb moist. Just moist as all get outs, as they say. And that's what I'll give to Mama. So y'all could have a piece of cake with Mama. So, God bless you, God bless us, God bless the United States. And I'll be cooking something this weekend pretty good. Bye-bye.